Why does the Bible appear to support slavery in some passages?
Slavery was and is very common now. And the Bible does appear to condone it. But again, the Bible was written 2,000 years ago. So during that time, that was in law that this is what slavery was. So God was basically just giving them a script to go by in the Old Testament. This is 1,000 or so years, maybe even 2,000 years BC. So it was just about those times. Now, real quick, the way Christianity and the Bible was distorted and twisted during the American slavery years is not the same from the explanation I just gave you. It's completely different because they were twisting the rules and only using certain parts of the Bible to justify slavery, but slavery for them had nothing to do with morals or laws, even though it was law. It had to do with them filling their pockets. It was profits, and a lot of them were Christians, so they was trying to justify in their minds how they can do this cruel thing to another human being. So the best way to do that, make them not a human being. And then that way you can just justify any bad thing you do to them. If we say that they property as a Christian, I now can go to sleep easy and not feeling like I'm doing another human being wrong, because that's not a human being.
So you confirm that none of Jesus' laws condone slavery or say that's a bad thing?
So Jesus never, I don't believe Jesus himself ever addressed actual slavery. But I can say the Bible in full, even if you go back to the passages in the Bible, it's tons of them where they're describing God saying to the people, that his people, that if you treat your slave wrong, that is against my will, God saying. So even as a slave, you can't be doing the things they did to black people here in America during the slavery days. They were doing completely crazy and unjust, inhumane things. And that was frowned upon by God even thousands of years ago when slavery was a regular thing. Mm-hmm. So that's why you definitely need to make sure we draw a line there, y'all, with what is right and what is wrong. The way that Americans here, the way that white Americans in America here treated black slaves was no way at all in the Bible, and no Christian during the time could really justify it. That's why you had abolitionists.
Abolitionists?
Yeah, there you go. You had them. Quakers, a ton of different religious groups that were trying to be more aligned with the Bible realized that slavery, and definitely this version you're doing, is completely wrong. So let's just make sure that that's clear.
Okay, well, my next question to you is why do Christians disagree on a lot of major things if they all read the same Bible? Like, you know, there's like Christianity is a thing, but then there's a bunch of groups in it. Right. Why is that?
Yeah. You know, like Baptists, Christian, Catholics, Methodists, Lutheran. You got a whole bunch of different versions of Christianity. I think first and foremost, it's just different interpretations of the same thing. It's kind of like, you know, I say one phrase and you translate it into 15 languages. It's going to be slightly differently translated in that other language. So that's part of it. The other part, I mean, I got to tell you, I belong to the Church of Christ, just period, Church of Christ. And so not to just to be disrespectful to anybody or nothing like that, but we feel like there's only one way to interpret the Bible and to live by the Bible. And we also feel if you're not in the one church, you're not going to heaven. So that's my overall feelings over all other versions of Christianity, just to make that clear. But I think that to answer your question, I think I did. Reinterpretations is what led to different versions of Christianity.
Okay. So it's a kind of big question here. What, if anything, would make you stop believing in Christianity or God?
What, if anything?
Yeah, like what, like it, you because you can say nothing, but if anything,
I'm gonna say nothing. I don't think there could be anything.
Okay.
Because we were told in the Bible that there's going to be false prophets. There's going to be many different ways the devil tries to get to you and try to fog your perspective. And that's where faith comes in. You know, believe beyond what you can see. For me, it's more of a feeling, spiritual feeling. You know, plus, I mean, if you want to flip it to the scientific part, so it's already proven when we leave this earth and we become dust, for one, we become food and fertilizer for a whole nother life form. So that's the physical part of it. But it's already been proven that there's some sort of energy, not quite electric, but energy that they've somehow been able to map and measure that is actually gone to virtually unknownness. Nobody knows where it's at. So you have this energy that has already been measured and kind of proven to be existing in human beings that we just turn to dust when we die, period. So where does that energy go? That's the part I think is the heaven versus the hell.
Okay.
You know, maybe heaven would be you get to live on as a positive energy in the universe.
Well, it never said did it ever say that you would be in your own body when you're in heaven?
No, it just says your spirit. That's actually made very clear in the Bible. This physical body you have will no longer exist once you die. So I put some science to that, y'all. Y'all should pay attention.
It's favorite thing to do.
I'm just saying, a lot of people require proof, and the main foundation for Christianity is faith. So it's a blind belief. You know what I mean? And I only say blind meaning that you can't see all the evidence you need, but that you can feel it. You know, you can see it in the lives of other people. You know, you can see it worldwide with different things. Shoot, look at all the stuff that the Bible predicted. It's going on right now. All the famine, the wars, all the things that were, deemed obscenities and disgusting. Now it's just a normal thing.
Hey, can a person be gay and still be a Christian? Or still go to heaven, maybe I should say. Either or.
So, yes and no. So, if you, the act of being gay, so that means the sexual act that is performed as a gay person, that's the sin. Being aware that you are gay and as far as who you like and who you want to be with, that awareness is not a sin, unless because you can look at a man and just as easy as you can, as a man can look at a woman, and that act of lusting for that person is a sin. So, think about it. If you don't commit that sin and you did basically go about your life trying to better that and better yourself as a Christian and not commit that sin, you can go to heaven. You know? So
is being gay like something that the devil is doing?
Being gay is an abomination, is what the Bible says. That the act of being with the same sex is considered an abomination in the Bible, flat out. So, y'all, everybody can be mad at that all they want to, you know what I mean?
You're getting canceled.
Well, I'm just saying, the truth is, being gay is an abomination according to the Bible.
Okay, and this next question ties into it. What matters more, someone's temptations or how they live? Like, if you act as a perfect Christian your entire life, but your inner mind ain't really a perfect Christian, does that matter? How your temptations matter the most, I guess you could say? Or, I mean, that's kind of...
I'm not sure what you mean by what did you say in your question? Can I hear the question again?
The question is, what matters more, someone's temptations or how they live?
Someone's temptations or how they live?
Mm-hmm.
What matters most?
Yeah.
What matters more is how you live. Now, that kind of seems, I feel like with the explanation to your question you gave me, though, wasn't really the question you were asking.
Yeah, I know, so that's why I changed it.
Okay,
you're saying how you live is more important, but not your mental.
So now we're at a different question. So can we establish this is a different question?
Okay, let's just get rid of that question.
Okay, so this is a different question.
Okay.
So what you're saying, so now you're somebody that's doing all the acts of a Christian, but inside you're not of pure heart. You're not doing them because you want to do them, because you are a good person. You want to be a good person. You're just doing it because that's what everybody sees and everybody likes, and these are works that get you into heaven, right? Mm-hmm. So you're not going.
What about the opposite way, where you're not living as a Christian, but you have the beliefs and you have the beliefs in the mental state of one?
So that's a no too. So you can't have a pure heart, and according to the Bible, there's not even possible for you to have a pure heart and not do the acts of a Christian, like going to help the needy, or looking after the sick, or visiting those in prison, or living in a righteous way, helping your innocent bystanders or those just in the way, or going out trying to convert other Christians into being Christians by giving them the word so they can hear, believe, repent, confess, be baptized. So if you have a pure heart, you're gonna go do those things regardless. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that part isn't even possible according to the Bible.
Is sex before marriage sinful, no matter what?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's
called fornication. And if you do it with somebody that's married, it's called adultery. Well, the married person committed adultery, and the person not married committed fornication.
Is adultery worse?
No, they looked at about the same.
Okay, so then another, I guess this is my freestyle, I guess, are all sins equal?
Well, according to the Bible, no. Lying. God don't really like lying.
What's your podcast talking about?
Black everything.